She was just a child, 6 years old, in the Shawnee Hills, where the stories are told. Her father whispered, "Don't be afraid, the Watchers are near, but they won't betray." The Watchers moving through the trees, shadows dancing in the midnight breeze. Donna saw their eyes in the fading light, living with the mystery of the endless night. He left his tobacco on a weathered old stump. She saw a figure rise, massive and blunt, not just a creature, but a spirit too, watching the people, watching the truth. The Watchers moving through the trees, shadows dancing in the midnight breeze. Donna heard their voices, soft but strong, a melody of legends carried on.
Oh, I love that song. Your dad, I love your dad did that for me, Michael Webb. And I cry. I get tears. It makes me cry. I love it. And you did. It's perfect. I love it. So thank you.
I did my best for you. You know, I did anything and everything for you.
Oh, I love you. You are. Ever since we met, I just found me another kid. You've been my kid. I feel like everybody on here is just so special to me. We all connected, and it's just.
We appreciate that. No one has ever stalked me quite the way you have, Donna. That's 100%.
Hey. Well, that's true. You're my favorite person to stalk, and you know
There
what?
you go.
You're my favorite stalker too. So don't tell Mike that because he is the best stalker.
Like some relic films.
You've got 10 people in the chat right now. You have Relic Films Media.
Oh,
You
cool.
have
Hi, everybody.
Beverly
Thank you.
Collins.
Oh,
You have
thank
Alicia
you.
Maxey.
Oh, hi, Alicia.
And Mom, I just want to say congratulations on your video. It's been a long time coming for you.
No,
That you asked me to be a part of it.
no, thank you. You have been encouraging me for this for so long, and I've been putting it off. And finally, okay, now it's time. And thank you for helping me because I'm telling you, I could never did it without you. I could not. And your dad, everybody, it's been really great. And I don't know.
A lot of work.
It is. It is. And Trisha has been. She worked the other night. It was like 3 a.m. when we finished or something.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah, it was. Oh my goodness, so much. I have tons of material. I have stuff going back. I have vocals on old cassette. I want my hat on like the old cassette tapes. I didn't have, there wasn't cameras or anything back then. It was like the old time cameras. And I would go out and I would set that up. And I have vocals on those old cassettes, which are grainy and make noise. But I've been in the woods my whole life. I mean, literally. Well, she did a perfect story with my pictures. And the song, they represent my life because I was 6 years old, running to the barn. Anything different on those pictures is usually when I ran out the back door. I was 6 years old and I was running in my underwear and to the pony. And my grandma was chasing me. And I would just, no saddle, no bridle. I would grab it by the mane and hit the woods. And so I would usually get a nice spanking when I got home, but I deserved it. Woods is my home. I still, same thing is, like I think I connected with Rachel so much and Trish because you guys are the same. You're out in the woods, and like with Rachel, we talk about. Well, I don't know if we're allowed to say it or not, but the dogs and the other things that we talk about, and their old country and the old lores and legends and remedies and plants, and so we just have so much in common. So we really.
And possums. I think we connected over possums too.
You have possum. I have a pet coon, although I did relinquish him to a niece who asked for him.
I had a pet raccoon.
Oh, I love them. Aren't they amazing?
I love him. He tore the living shit out of my house up, though.
Oh yeah.
Loved him to death. Loved him to death. He was big.
Yeah, I've raised them, from tiny babies with the bottle.
Yeah, me too.
And I came home, it was a big female, and I came home from work, and they brought groceries in and set down a 10-pound bag of sugar on the table. And she would come to the kitchen window and push the window open. And she came in, and of course, what did she do? Sugar everywhere. I mean, it was everywhere.
Yep.
Then she would go back to the boys' bedroom, the bunk beds. And she'd get in the bottom bunk, and if my one son wasn't there, she'd climb to the top, crawl under the covers, get up on their head on a pillow, pull the cover up, and she'd put her little feet up like this. That's how she slept. I love that thing so well. I agree. Different ones.
My guy used to eat Cheerios out of the box. I'd take the bag out of the box. He would hold it and take the Cheerios out and eat them. It was funny. I got a lot of videos of him. He was funny.
They are amazing animals. Yeah. And the possums. I see Rachel has one like a writing in the back of her hair the other day. It's like in the back. It's like, oh my God, so cute.
Yeah. I feed all the possums and the raccoons and the stray cats in my backyard every night.
I had 9 of them. I'm down to just one. I've only got one that's still hanging on.
Oh my
She's
God.
so spoiled. She won't leave.
She's gonna stay with you forever. That'll be your forever baby.
When I move to Tennessee, I'll be feeding everything up there.
Yep. Even the Bigfoot.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
I don't have any exotic animals like that, but I know Monster Mike, he's getting some goats. I think next week, I think it is. And when he has some babies, I'm going to go get me one, and I'm going to identify it as a dog. Just to keep it. I really want a goat.
Oh, I love baby goats.
I've had goats before. Me too. Love them.
That's my son-in-law saying
Oh,
hello.
we have Sean D.B. Cooper in here. He says, I'm here
Hey,
to
Sean.
keep Mr. Moist. And I hate that word sometimes. But
Okay.
oh, man.
So,
Well, Donna, what kind of folklore can you tell us tonight? What kind of stories can you share with us? I know, we talked about talking about how we all met and stuff, and you sent me a bunch of photos. So whenever you want me to show them, I'll show them for you.
well, basically, like I said, my life was different. I grew up on a big farm, and everything that we needed was there on that farm, and they couldn't keep me out of the woods, of course. So my dad, you showed the pictures of my dad and my family back through. I'm of Shawnee descent, so my grandmother's full-blooded Shawnee. And my dad was born in an old cabin back in under Buzzard Roost. And when I say an old cabin, that's exactly what it was. It wasn't, that's in 1927, so there's no schools and the woods, and that's where he came from. So you hunted to eat and you grew it, and so that's our heritage through all of it, from generation to generation. All the way back to the one picture you had of the little Indian girl setting out in the woods. That is a great grandmother. So from generation to generation, and through all of those, the Watchers has been a part of our life. We call them Watchers because for us, they watch over us and protect us. They're not an evil thing or anything like that. Not that they're not unpredictable. You have to be smart. It's just like everything else. You don't go out and poke a bear, so you don't go out. You don't go out and stick them with a stick. But my life is, and I still, I'm older, and I still am in the woods and going deep into the woods, and I'll hike 10 miles in and make a camp, and I'll spend the night there by myself. And I love it. It's just, I like the animals and the woods better than anything else. So that's kind of who I am and what I am. And of course I do the old herbal medicines, all the old remedies my grandmother taught me. I try to, just like Rachel, I think we use more of the old time stuff than we ever do any modern medicine. And it works better, and you don't have the problems with it. Not that I can't go out and collect some herbs here and there and make up a nice little powder, and it still has the same effect that the old medicine man used it for back then. And some of them are good, and the other one is to send you on a trip and not leave the farm. The first time I saw the Watcher, I was 6. That's what I was doing. There was a fair, and I want to go to the fair. Dad's rules was, whatever you wanted to do, he always gave me whatever I wanted or I needed, but he taught me to work. And if I wanted something, I had to contribute to it, or I didn't get it. And then I get mad. Sometimes I get mad because my brothers got a little bit easier at one time, and I was like, Dad, how come you give it to them? You won't give it to me. He said, because I don't want you to ever have to ask anybody anything. He said, you're smart, and I want you to take care of yourself. And I do. So life is just, that's my daughter running through the house here. I invaded her home. Her internet is better. Mine, we're in the middle of a storm here, so it knocked out my electric and stuff at home. So I invaded hers.
I'm assuming that this is Yeah, this is Greg. Greg says, I bet Donna makes good chili. I bet she does too.
I have different versions of chili. Of course, I make my deer. I use deer meat, and I make chili out of it. I use elk. Of course, I use the hamburger too. But I have different versions and different strengths for different people. So, yeah, I can set you on fire, or I can be a little more.
No fire for me.
Oh, yeah. No fire for me.
I love hot chili, but it doesn't like me.
No, that's
Been through fire, don't need no fire. No, I don't want that smoke.
Oh
At
no.
all.
the my
Guys,
grandma.
let me grab a charger here real quick.
Yeah, well, I've got some interesting recipes. It's like with my Watchers, I make the apple cake. It's homemade. Everything is from scratch. And I have this big giant pan, and I've taught my granddaughter to do it. And she invades my kitchen at 3 a.m. because she's a night owl. And I wake up to this huge mess everywhere. And she's like, "We're just baking it for you, Ma'am, all so you can have it tomorrow." It's like, great. Why don't you clean it up? But that's that was my grandmother's specialty, was the apple cake. I use other stuff too, but it's kind of a hand-me-down thing. So
Yeah, I
I don't know.
like some of grandma's old recipes. Grandma's old recipes are the best recipes. You know, chicken and dumplings, or zucchini bread, or chili, or
Yeah.
dumplings and lentils.
Yeah.
I mean, just so many. I love. I still cook to this day.
I love to cook.
Me too.
I don't cook as much as I used to because I'm busy, but I like the old bean dumplings. My grandma always made the big pots of the soup beans, and she made dumplings in them, and like berry dumplings. I love dumplings. It's like,
We have Cindy. Cindy's in here. She's in the chat. She says, "Hello, y'all."
Hi, Cindy.
Hey.
Hey, Cindy.
Hi.
So
She says, "Good to see you, Rachel." She misses you.
Hey, Cindy. Good to see you.
that's what we had.
Miss you too.
We all had such a good time at the LBL. Me and Rachel and Cindy rode in on the back of the truck, and we met up with Trisha, and that night was absolutely wild. From the things splashing through the water and come. Rachel had just been out there waiting around. We went down to that dock, and she'd taken her boots off. And for some crazy reason, we both carry, on our side. And we both took them up, put them in the car, and laid the phones down and went down there. And it was just like crazy. The howl, and then it was like a motorboat. The flap of the water was so heavy. I mean, literally, it was like,
there were no boats at all out there that night.
no, it was so 3 times came up 3 times it came up like that.
There was like 3 kerplunks in the water, and then the waves came towards us.
That's
But I
the
They
night
knew
couldn't
that
that-
we put our cell phones in.
That's
it
the
was
night
like,
that you howled, and I said, I walked up to you. I'm like, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Was that you that howled?" She's like, "That first one wasn't me. The first one was the one I really, really heard, and then the second one, it was her responding." But I walked over at the first one. She's like, "Trish, that wasn't me." And I was like,
no.
"Dang, it's close then," because it was loud. It just echoed.
Yep. It was just so, and they came up on the bank, and it was, but I couldn't move because normally we're standing there, we're kind of like on awe. And then Rachel goes, "We need to tell the other ones." But we still was like, we're standing there together. It's like, we only took like 2 steps back, and then it was like, we just couldn't move. We're just standing there. It was so wild. I'm used to here because I go out by myself or whatever. And I've had a couple, over the last few months, I've had a couple hairy situations here. That's a little more, I'm not used to violence. Usually I get along. I got hit with a flying cooler one time, but that was Mike Miller's fault. I blame him. He had me out there. He's like, "Oh, can you go out there and see if you can hear our calls from over on your side?" I said, "Okay." So I come in from work. I'm in a dress. And I did change my shoes, thank goodness. I walk all the way up to my greenhouse beside the woods, and I hear the screaming. I'm thinking it's them doing the calls. And I'm standing there, then all of a sudden I hear crash, crash, crash down through the woods, trees going over, and the screaming, and one of those red igloo coolers, like the little ones, comes flying out, because I had it sitting by the tree. I had pop and ice and stuff in it from earlier in the day, because we was up there tilling and stuff. Hit me in the side. I went down like a sack of potatoes. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh my God. And it was, pretty horrendous for a little bit until one of the other ones showed up and kind of saved me. Because honestly, then I had to get all the way back down through the dark to the barn. And the only thing I had was my phone. Then I get to the barn, because I keep things in the barn, for protection. And I reached up and started pulling one. And then I thought, you crazy, get to the house. Then I still have to travel all the way down across like a 36-foot bridge to get to the other side before I can get to my house. And I get down there. And then I message Mike. And he don't respond. And you know what he told me the next day? I went to bed. I went to sleep. I'm going to slap your ears plumb off your head. Yeah. I went to bed. Thank you. That was very. Don't ask me how I get in situations. I have gotten in stupid things before. I do stupid stuff. Like Trisha is always out there running through the woods and getting into things, and things chasing her. And do you have that clip of that thing chasing you?
I do.
That is terrifying.
If you want me to show it,
Trish, I think last time I heard from you, you were one on each side. I think the last time that I heard from you, you were surrounded by one on each side. How did that had to have been terrifying. How did that go?
Turned out with me some pretty crazy scratches on my stomach, and I didn't see what did it. I didn't feel it when it happened. We left, because they pushed us out of there. They diamonded us, like we diamond them. We always go in in a diamond formation. They did the exact same thing to us, pushed us out of there. And Andy said that he saw a dog man standing about 10 yards away from my driver's side door of my truck. So we leave, and my stomach starts itching. I'm like, how the hell do I have poison ivy? I wasn't even in the weeds. So I was wearing high-waisted leggings with tall boots, snake gaiters, and my leggings come up above my belly button. I was trying to keep from getting ticks. And started itching. And I'm like, how do I have poison ivy? Well, I didn't think I'm severely allergic, so I knew if I checked, I was going to scratch, and then it's going to spread, and then off to the ER I go. So I didn't look. A couple days go by. It was a Sunday. They start burning and itching really bad. And I'm like, Doug, you have got to check my stomach. Something's not right. It was so bad I was having problems standing up. Like the more my skin stretched, the worse I couldn't stand up. So he looked and took a picture, and I had some pretty gnarly scratches on my stomach. And I showed Donna, I showed them to several other people, and a couple people said they looked almost Egyptian. I have that photo, and honestly, I wouldn't show it over air, but if anybody's interested in seeing it, I will show you, just not broadcasted all over the world on YouTube. So that's how that played out. We went back, had a little more activity in there. And this is an area that I was told had no activity whatsoever. Well, when I hear people say that, those are the areas I want to go in. So I started tracking in there for months, since December of last year. And I started documenting behavioral patterns. structures. That's where we found that raccoon that was entangled in the tree with guts ripped out of it. And there was no blood on the tree, no blood on the ground, no blood on the animal, which is really weird. So I just kept tracking, and then we decided, okay, it's time for us to go in during the night, and we did, and that happened, and the scratches happened, and that's the same night we were TikTok live. 'Cause I like doing that for people that support us. Like, I like to show them kind of what we do, just, engage with them a little bit, and they got a good one because we caught something that stood up and walked across the road, and it was like a charcoal gray color, but you could see through part of the back. And I don't know if it was a rake. To me, I think it was a tall gray alien. It was super skinny, anorexic, and I've seen rakes in there before. It did not. I had Sheila and Scott Granger from Squatch Fishing one night with me that we had a pale crawler that just rushed at us. It was just jetting towards us. And this didn't look like that. This looked like a gray alien, even down to the color of it. So we caught that on film. But what I just caught a couple weeks ago on thermal, by accident, that still got me just mind blown that I even caught that. Because I'm really hard on myself. Donna knows this. Like, I don't give myself credit for really anything. By God, I'm giving myself credit for that, because that still got me like, I just do my best. I'm just a 4'11 and a half girl, 32 years old, just out looking for Bigfoot, dogmen, whatever other creatures, because to me, that's therapy for me. I know that sounds really weird, but it is. Because I grew up in the woods hunting with my dad. I grew up in West Virginia, and I've always been a fan of nature and being out in the woods. So I started doing all this, and, I'd like to think that I'm doing a decent job. Sometimes, it's really discouraging, but I don't give up. I just stay out there, even in those dangerous situations where I'm getting hurt, like the scratches, and I've been smacked upside the face, and I got pushed off an embankment. I'm still going out. So I don't scare too easy, except for when you're face to face with a dog man. Then that one kind of messed me up for a while, but I got over it. I worked through it and got right back out there, and Donna helped me with that, and I'm thankful for her for helping me through that, because that was a bad time. That was a really bad time. But Donna, if you want me to show that, I'll be more than happy. If you don't, they can go to our YouTube and watch it. It's your show.
Absolutely. I told you, you're my kid. You're. I think you're. I don't know how I got you, but you have to be somehow connected to me. But,
you guys heard that? It's official. Donna Copas has adopted me.
You're now my child.
That came from her mouth, not mine, hers. So, all right, I'll pull it up. Give me just 1 second. Okay, are we ready? Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not pulling up? Give me 1 second. It just did something weird. It glitched and changed her background, and I don't know why it did that. It just glitched. Let me do it this way. I can do it this way. You guys can go ahead and talk, and when I get it up, I'll let you know, because for some, the whole restream just glitched out bad.
Oh, okay. Rachel, looks like you got somebody over here are talking about you stealing their ice cream, and while they're trying to put nuts on it and their potatoes. And yeah, I'll adopt you too. It's relic films.
Okay.
Why not?
All right.
Me and Rachel talks about she has like hound dogs. My dad raised hound dogs, so we've had some good conversations about our dogs. And I don't know where we
I
got.
got it.
There we
I got it.
go. There we go.
That's interesting.
That is so. I've seen them run beside the car before, um, but I go down the side of a mountain when I go out. I go up into the mountains, and I've seen them run, come out and go beside, but not like that. That is absolutely spooky.
Yeah, it was. Well,
Yeah.
Jen saw it first, and then I saw it. And when I saw it, I thought it was, you guys are going to laugh at this. We're driving up the road. We're driving into our area. And I look over to the left, and I see this, what looked to be a big pile of dirt. It was like a rustic brown color. And then I see that big pile of dirt move. And I'm like, whoa, that's not dirt. That's not dirt. So I hang part of my body out the truck window. That's why it's kind of bouncing a little bit in the thermal, because I'm hanging out the window trying to get it. And that was the best I could get it, driving 15, 20 miles an hour up the road. And so it was pretty wild to actually see it. And when we saw it, when I watched it move, I could make out a conical head, and it was massive. And I knew it wasn't a dog man. I didn't see a tail. You could tell by the head. There was no pointy ears that this was a Bigfoot, and it was chasing the vehicle. And I still want to know, why did it stop? Why at that one spot did it stop, turn left, and take off? I'll probably never get that answer. But that's the question I have. All right, well, you chased us, but why'd you stop? You could have very easily taken out the truck.
Probably came
Why'd
through
you
their, because I've seen them do it. There's like their area, they get to the end of, there's like, okay, they're gone now. It's safe. And somebody else, probably somewhere else along the way, another one was going to pick you up and watch you coming on out of there. They do that. Actually, with there's a place here, and Richard knows who, Jeff Byers, and he comes, and we go out to the woods together. He comes with the Night Stalker group, and he had actually, there's a really dense place, and it's going up through there, and he had told me about it. He's like, and we actually had went there, and he's like, the last time I was here, we was going up through here, and he said, I seen like this big stump and sitting there, and I'm thinking it's a big stump. So they went on up the road a ways, and he's like, wait, I'm going to go back and take a picture, because that stump actually looks like a big, he calls it Bigfoot. I call them Watchers. He goes back. He said, there's nothing there. He said, there was no stump. There was nothing there. So this is, again, this was in the middle of the night. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And it had rained, so the mud was kind of like ankle deep. And when they set their chairs up, and they will sit by the car. And me and Jeff decided we're going to walk up that road. And we're walking up through there, and we get halfway up, and he's like, I'm almost to the spot where I seen that. And we get there, and all of a sudden, right beside of where we're walking, there's just a dirt trail. The bush starts shaking, like that. And you know how, Jeff's a lot taller than I am. And I was on the side by the bush, and he grabs me like this, and he just picks me up and sets me over, and he like gets in between me. And he's like, there was a hand. He's like, it was reaching for you. And I'm like, and I look, and sure enough, it's literally like here, like where I'm sitting, and there's the wall. That's how close it was.
Wow.
And I seen it, after, but when I walking up through there, I seen that moving. So it didn't try to hurt me, but it had, that big hand had reached out. We've had some really, like you're talking about the scratches. It's been a couple of weeks or so now, because he had came up and spent a few days, and I have the barn where I do my gifting at, and I took him back there because it was raining, and I didn't want to sit out in the woods in the rain. And that is like the spookiest place there ever is. First time I took him there, one of the young ones was there, and it was up in the deer poles, and there's a hole in the roof, because this is it's an old tobacco barn. And I use it. I just go back and so they back the cars in there. And as soon as we back in, you hear it. It's like growling and like scratching. And of course, Bev, she's like, "What is that? Is it like an owl up in there scratching, or what is it?" And they're looking all around. But when we were walking in, I walk in ahead of them to guide them in, because it's pitch black. And the weeds were higher, that hadn't got mowed down all the way, so the weeds were higher. And but when I walked in, Jeff, being the gentleman that he is, when I got out of the car, he's like, "You're not going by yourself," so he jumps out and he's walking with me. And it went up in there, and for like 2 hours, it was making those sounds and scratching, and it was really spooky. And probably about an hour in, because they're still all like, what is that? And they're certain, they didn't really move around a lot to search. But Bev, she told me later, she's like, that is the best spot I've ever been to. She said, that is absolutely the spookiest place I've ever been. But we had went back, and that was the second time we come back, and Jeff was with me, and it was like he had set up his equipment to film out the back of the barn, and then Mike and everybody else had set theirs up for the front, and it was like this huge energy field type thing, like the infrasound that hit first, and through the back door, it's got the big open, like where you drive the tractor through. That's how big. And so you could see, like the light, even though it's dark, from the nighttime, you still see that light coming in. So you have a little bit of that light. And
Hey, Donna, I need to check out. I got to head home and go feed my dogs.
Okay.
I'm at my mom's. I'll message you later.
All right. Thank you for coming.
Oh, I'm looking forward to more. Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, dear.
Good night, Richard.
Bye-bye.
But while we were doing that was like that energy came in, and it actually attacked me. And if he hadn't been there, he would literally caught me before I hit the ground. That's how hard it hit me. And then it's like it backed off. And then the second round came in. It was like it was testing to see how much, how strong I could repel it. And without him, I could not have. But I had the scratches. I got scratches around like my ribs and the top of my hip. It's like you took a claw and literally ripped me through my side. So I know what the scratches are. It's when you're out there, there's all kind of weird things, and I'm sure Rachel knows that too. She's been there and done that, and you've had all kind of really different experiences at your place too, haven't you? With the goats and the cameras.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really surprises me anymore. I've seen so much, especially paranormal, and
It's like it goes together. The Watchers, that night that happened, whatever that was, it wasn't a Watcher that was pushing at me, because there was one there and he was off at a distance, and it was more like he was helping to control that, to protect me. Well, to protect.
keep it in check.
Yeah. So I've seen over the last few months, I don't know if you guys have noticed it or not, but being in the woods more and more, it's like things is changing. But here it was always pretty, it wasn't violent. They fight for territory and different things, but it's like something different is happening. Something's opening up, and more things are coming through. I had never, as far as the dogman thing, in all my years up until about 2 years ago, I never saw one. I questioned whether it was real or not. And then I saw, what I had saw when we were hiking, and it wasn't in the dark. It was in the daytime. It was evening, and we're coming down that trail. And the first thought when I first saw it, I thought it was like a big giant turkey, and it just kept getting bigger as we got towards it. And then, I'm thinking, we're discussing it. What is it? Did somebody throw a dog out because it was a dog, like it's like trailing on the ground? And of course, we were at a distance, and the closer we got, the bigger it got. And then at the end, there was a deer jumped up and went through the woods, and then that's when it came up on two legs. And there's no way out for us except to go. We have to go that way. We can't get back to the car except to go that trail and get up to the car. And of course, I'm carrying what I always carry, and I done pulled my pouch around and prepared. And not that it would have did any good. I'll be honest with you, it would not have did any good except maybe make it mad. But it finally, it went up on two legs, and it went off to the right, the way the deer went. But when we got there, it was total silence. There was no bugs, there was no sound, there was nothing. And it was the most, every hair stood up. It was like this, just total silence, and you're all on guard. You feel it. And then the car is there, and we got to get to the car. And gosh, we get there, and it's a new car, so you got the fob, and I'm trying to unlock it. It wouldn't unlock. I'm like, what the heck? Why don't it work? It was like the battery in the key, was dead. It would not, and I had to open it. And you know how complicated it is to open a new car with a key. You have to go through all this rigmarole to actually open your car door. And by the time I get it open, and the other girl, she's like, I gotta pee. I was like, I'm getting inside the car. I'm in. You pee, I'm in. So yeah, I did. I questioned, I've heard all the stories and stuff of the old Shawnee stories, but I questioned it. And now, I've seen a couple times now. So they're real.
There's no telling what the government's doing right now, too. Me and Donna have talked a lot about them spraying stuff that probably has everything stirred up.
Yeah. Yeah, when they did that here with the tick things. I mean, they did. They dropped the ticks. And then they came through, and they were spraying from the helicopters. And they said they were spraying the power lines. But it went totally crazy here. My watchers went totally nuts. They went underground. But the animals, I was finding dead animals, like possums and the coons and the small animal squirrels and whatever. That spray is supposed to be killing the ticks. It was killing everything. And not only that, but like the gardens, my garden, it was just burned up because when they sprayed it didn't just stay in the area where they sprayed it. The wind blew it. So it traveled over the valleys and stuff. It's, and even, well, like at the LVO with Trish and that house with the camera, that is definitely a feeding station. There's no other explanation for that. And there was all kind of footprints. There was footprints, there was handprints in the snow, and that camera was directed straight up at that flue. And then that big giant limb, they were using that. So, and when you looked in the window, there was a feeding station inside.
Well, they hold wild pigs in there like crazy, right? Usually most people are trying to shoot them and get rid of them. They're hauling them in there by the tractor trailer load.
Mm-hmm. And why do they have to keep replenishing them? And if they're just turning them loose for whatever, they breed like crazy. Hogs breed crazy. So why do they?
Yeah, that barn had a feeder too.
Yep.
The barn right below it, it had a feeder in it as well. And that's right next to you. Like, you just walk across the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got scratched at night. And we saw a thing walk across the road.
Yep.
So,
well, I seen them from the parking lot that day. There was those two right down. They weren't afraid. I actually got pictures and video from standing up there that day. You could see them.
I think we've got a photo of us standing out there. Yeah. So I mean, this doesn't show the house or the barn, but this is the area when I took them out there.
Yep.
And I was like, explaining what we have found in there, and then Donna does her thing, and she finds even more.
Yeah, it was the snow. I mean, the footprints were there's just trails, and then you could see where they leaned down and put their hands down, like they're looking. And the handprints are. I was like, look, the whole thing. They are just squatted down there, and it was different sizes. So there's multitudes. It's not one. There's multitudes there. That was here I'm used to, but I think me and Trish talked about it too. It's like when we go to other areas, I still feel mine from here. It's like they are they're connected and they protect us. It's like a psychological thing. They have a connection to us. So it doesn't really matter where I'm at. I still can feel them. So.
Donna, you're gonna have to come down here sometime.
I plan to. Anytime you can get up here, the cabin is ready. I would love to have you all, but we need to reschedule our trip, Trisha, for Rachel. And
okay, I'm down.
Anytime, because the cabin is here, and I have plenty of woods we can run through.
I'm sure you do. I'm excited to check them out.
Absolutely.
Anytime you want to come down here, we'll go hit the woods down here. There's plenty to explore.
Yep. I'm having more talk because I have actually cut back from my work and the things that I do. So I have more free time to do. But that's the reason I go out at nighttime mostly. I'm out in the woods at night, and it's like, are you crazy? What in the world are you doing out there at 1:30 in the morning by yourself in a dark road? But that's my escape. That's how I wind down. And in the daytime, I'm busy. I'm working with other people, and I can go out and sit by a tree, and I'm happy. But that one night was a crazy. I should not have went that night by myself, and I did. And so I still have to. I guess my conscience still bothers me because that night when I got there, and my old one, it was attacked and they're fighting, and I still think about, I know it sounds crazy. The one I call my old one, the old grandfather, was actually my father's watcher. And my dad was born in 1927, so he would be 99 years old. His watcher is older than him, and he's still here. And he's beat up, and he's down to 3 toes on one foot. but he's still strong. And he fought that night for me. And I still remember, I'm going to cry, but I don't mean to. When I made it back into the car, and I have to go down the side of a mountain, and the road is a dirt road, and like on the cliffs where the rocks are sticking up. And I'm driving. I have 4-wheel drive, and I'm going over that, and I'm crying. I am crying hysterically. I really was. And I seen my taillights shined up, and they're fighting, and I seen that old one go to the side of that cliff. And I was like, that's kind of like, that's my dad, in my heart. I connect them together. And I hit the brakes, and I thought, I don't know what I thought I would do to help. I mean, what am I going to do with these huge, they're fighting and tearing, and the whole hillside was tore off and trees are ripped off. And then I came to my senses, and I said, that would be disrespectful. He just gave his life, or he's fighting for you to get away. So, so I still had to go like 5 miles down the side of that mountain, hit another country road, and come out about 5 miles more to get to a main road. There's no houses. This is just, there's no one there. There's no lights. There's no street lights. There's nothing but the headlights of the car through pitch black darkness. So, and that was a silly thing to do, and I still kick myself about that and worry, and I don't know. I think about my life and the things I did, and I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what my purpose is, but one is to. I've met so many amazing people and connected with them. Like Richard, I met him at the Mothman conference, the festival with Russ Alcord. I met him through Jeff Byers. They were there at a conference and speaking, and I connected with Richard. He came over, and of course he's Russ's bodyguard, and they travel together, and they do all. He's trainer, all of that. And I was talking to Russ, and he showed him some of my vocals I had recorded. And he sits down, and he's looking at me. And you see how big he is. I'm 5'3", and he's looking at me like, this lady's nuts. I know that's what I teared in his mind. I know it's like this lady's nuts. And I did. I turned around, I punched him on the shoulder, and I said, "That's right, I'm crazy." And we've been friends ever since. So it's amazing. Just like Trisha and Mike. I did their show, and we just connected so much. And Rachel, as soon as we met, we were just like, hey,
we have so much in common. It is just crazy.
It is
instantly.
It's like we're just all of a big family, and we're just finally all meeting and getting back together. And honestly, I think it's for a reason. I think we're supposed to meet and, discuss things, get the word out, and just be who we are. Yeah, I love that picture.
I know. You got my daughter.
That was a great festival.
Yeah, my daughter in there who was not happy to be at that Bigfoot festival, but she got her squishmallows, so she was not squishmallows, but those squishy butter sticks that kids are going nuts over.
Yeah.
She didn't give a crap about the Bigfoot stuff. She was just there for the butter squishy toys. That was it.
My granddaughter wanted the mushroom squishy thing. It was something special. I went to Humpteen stores, never could find it. Finally, it was at Ollie's, and I found it. So I get her 2 of them, right? Within the first 2 days, she had busted that silly looking thing, and all that crap came out. I was like, are you serious? I worked my hind end off getting that stupid thing for you. Oh.
Yeah, and you probably paid, what, $10 for it? Just to bust 2 days later? Yeah, and kids are going nuts over it. And I know that just that one, it wasn't even the big one. I got her one of the small ones. It's probably about that big. And it was like $10. And she's lost it. It's gone. She lost it not long after we left Red River. And then I got her the bigger one that was 20, and she done gave it to another kid, I think. So I'm not buying it.
Yep, that's typical. That is typical. I'm like, the thing about Addie, this, I guess it's, you know how they say your revenge on your children for what they do to you is your grandchildren?
I believe it 100%.
My grandchildren, which I have two that lives close by me, and Addie, God help my soul, is a mini me. She is me reincarnated. And honest to land, 3:00 in the morning, she'll come to my house, no fear. And I'm like, this is my grandma's payback for what I did to her. Addie is now paying me back. Oh my goodness. So yes, Tim, I would be glad to hear I can see somewhat of your thing here. I'd love to hear it.
We were talking about when we went to LBL, and that was, we didn't even touch on the deer story, but I wanted to pull up the picture of you, Rachel, and Dee. Guys, this is how they traveled in and out of LBL.
It was so much fun riding in the back of the truck.
Absolutely.
I should have joined you guys on the way out. I was kind of cold. I wasn't feeling well because we were down in that one area. They came in. They were supposed to go to Waverly Hills for a paranormal, and I left Red River because I had taken a report of an attack, and I needed to get back to get in there with my team to kind of find some things, figure things out, and which we have for the most part. I get a phone call as I get to my house, and Cindy Sapp says, "Hey, we're canceling our Waverly Hills trip." And I'm like, "What? Why?" She's like, "Well, we figured we would come to LBL if that's okay." Yeah, but you guys got me in there. You got to listen to me in there. I've been before. I'm like, listen to me in there. It's not the safest place. And they did. And the whole way through LBL, I'm taking them back to the area where this report was from. And they're riding in the back of the truck, just having a field day. Hair blowing everywhere, just having a blast. And then we left, and they got to the back of the truck, and I should have got back there with you guys that night. I wasn't feeling good because we walked down into that one area up that forest road and got to that round, cleared out area that looked really odd. And I'm super sensitive to those odors, and I got sick. I got so sick. I think Rachel caught me getting sick on video. So, I'm pretty sure she did because I watched the one video and I can hear myself throwing up in it.
No.
I can't, that odor, I'm very sensitive to the odor. Very sensitive. So we leave and we're driving up this road. And we get to where these two culverts. And if you guys know Martin Groves and Daryl Denton, I don't know why I'm pointing a pencil, I'm sorry. It's a habit. They have a story of where they drove on this dirt road. There's these two culverts, and they see this dog man that they get hit with infrasound. Martin gets really, really sick. Daryl's not feeling well. We drive past it, and we hit something metal. Now, Donna, Rachel, was there anything in the road metal?
Nope.
I didn't see. We heard it too, but we didn't see anything. Of course, it was me and Rachel on the back of the truck that night, and was it raining a little bit, or was it just it was like a mist or something falling?
It was real foggy, and that's, well, Trish, if you would have rode in the back of the truck with us, you would have missed out on seeing the deer because we saw it back there. We saw the different colors.
Yeah,
the one that stood
whenever
up
you see it, standing up on two legs.
Yeah. Rachel saw it first, and we saw it, looked over, and she's like, "You see it?" And I was like, "Whoa, what the heck is that?" And then it was up, and I was like, "Crap, we're outside." I
didn't see any other deer with it. It was just the one, and it was first it started on all fours, and then it just stood up.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at Doug, and I was like, "That's not a deer." You know, deer, when they they can stand up to like rub a tree.
Mm-hmm.
This was in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
There's no trees.
Yeah,
And it stood there for the longest time. And I remember getting out and saying goodbye. Rachel said, I was about that deer. So that was, I never saw anything like that. But I have since then. But that was the first time, and that was not a deer.
no, it was an interesting time. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I can't wait for you guys to.
Much.
Yeah. I keep hearing
I think there's
echo.
what you see.
Oh, I can hear.
I
I
can't
see
hear.
Jen came in. Did you? I just the other day. I don't know if you got it or not. I sent the one video of the cemetery from the other day where I did. I got the vocal back. I sent you a couple vocals. I don't know if they came through to you or not.
They did. If you want to give me a minute, I will pull it up if that's what you're wanting me to play.
The one because I think it was Tim said something about see if it sounded like what he had because that one scream was actually from when they it was when I got hit with the cooler. So there's two
Okay.
different ones. One is at the cemetery where I called and it called back, and the other one is I have one that sounds like a freight train. He's screaming as he came through the trees, but I don't think I sent it to you. We'll do that at a later show. I have multiple things. So.
That was the daytime video, correct?
Yeah, it's the daytime at the cemetery. I've been around to there's a new where the old ranger tower was and the hiking trails, and I actually saw one there. And then I met it's like dirt bike. There was guys up. These guys were up in there, and they were from like India, and they were carrying military, the backpacks, the military backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
And the one guy stopped me. I stopped because I'd seen that, and then there was a piece of stump come down out of the woods at me. And when I'm up there, it's just a dirt trail. It's a dirt road, and you're on top of the mountain. I have 4-wheel drive. I have a Jeep Cherokee, the one that raises up. So when that came out, it was like where it pulled it out of the ground, it had a piece of stump on it, and it came down. And I got out. Thought, well, I took a picture of it. And that guy came around there and he stopped and he's like, "Hey, did you see another guy on a bike? We got one of our members is missing." And he's like, "He's carrying packs like mine." Like, no, I didn't see anybody. And I thought, why are you up here? This is forestry and it's a preserve and it's a protected area. So what are you doing up here? And why are you carrying military backpacks? But
Yeah, that's up.
he moved on, and then I came around to the cemetery, and that's where I got. I think he just followed me around because it was a short distance. He done throw that little piece of stump at me, kind of like, "Get the heck out of here! You're not welcome here. Get on out." And then at the cemetery, I stopped there because there's some really old. I like the old graves. I like looking at they're like 1800s and
Right. The ones
and
back
then,
from
yeah.
the Civil War, those are my favorite. I love old cemeteries.
That was mine. And there's also some Shawnee burials in there where they put their clan animals or whatever. And there's one that has a turtle on it. They put a little statue it's built into the ground from the turtle clan. And I think it's like late 1800s or something like that. So I want to get a picture of it. And that's where I got the holler back. I did a howl, and then he's down in the woods and he howled back at me.
Hey, Kyle, that's my cousin Walt.
Hi.
It's uploading. I'll let you know, and then we can play it if you want to. If you want to play it.
If you can.
But you got a bunch of things on here. If you want me to show you photos, you could talk about them. I hope everybody else. So she has like the most stories. I could say we do our monster release shows. We'll be back for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Just the night I was helping get all this together for her. We were up till 3:30 in the morning, and we was talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Culture. It was amazing. I love it. You know, to be able to do this with you means a lot to me because I love you. Rock star. As a kid, they now Batty.
Yes, she
That's
is.
what kid is, man. Like I'm telling you, you do not want to run into Donna. Dark
Donna is my
She's-
hero, man. I just love Donna to death.
She's an inspiration.
Well, I have the best time with you guys. That's what I said. All of us women need to get together because we are.
I really enjoyed the Red River Gorge. I just
Yeah.
fell in love with that area up there. I think we need to plan another trip back there.
Yep, I plan to go back. I want to do the boat ride again. I love that boat ride. That was.
I would like to go and stay at least like
Yeah.
2 weeks. Just explore and look around. There's so much to do up there. I don't think you could even touch it. You couldn't shake a stick at half the stuff up there in 2 weeks.
And we had activity beside your guys' cabin. I found that footprint.
Yeah.
Me and Donna heard it walking beside
Yep.
the cabin. And then I caught that photo of whatever that looked like it was coming out of.
Yeah,
We had
that cabin
We
was
went up-
haunted. I'm telling.
That cabin was haunted. It was very haunted.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
About froze to death.
Yeah.
That was the coldest room. I was like being in Alaska.
It really was. It was like being in an igloo. I slept up there the first night, and I absolutely froze to death. And the next night, I just started sleeping on the porch. I was like, I don't care what's out there walking around the cabin. I don't care if it's haunted. It can come sit down. It can come join me. I'm sleeping on the porch.
Oh my God! I had an electric blanket, and I'm telling you, I dang near froze to death. And I had two. I had an electric one underneath of me, one over top of me, and I was literally like, I'm like balled up in a ball. I was frozen. It's like, what the hell?
Hey,
Why
Donna,
is it so
you
cold?
have a question. Not to interrupt you. I don't
Okay.
want Walter to think that we're ignoring him because we're not. We see you, Walter.
Yeah,
He says,
absolutely.
"Hey, Donna, how are you? I wanted to ask if you do rubbings on gravestones."
I absolutely do. I've been doing that for years and years. I will go and clean them, and then I take the tracing paper and my mind just went blank. The charcoal or whatever, and I do that, and I do the tracings. I will repair or pick up, and we have graves here that's literally, I think some is like 1700s, the late 1700s, because when they this where I'm at was originally called the Virginia Military District, and that's when the trappers came in, and that's who my grandfather. Of course, my grandmothers were Shawnee, and he was Irish. He came here. He had two grandsons, and the old cemeteries. I love the old cemeteries. I was working in one the other night. I took my son with me, and it was getting evening. This cemetery is so old that it landslid, and the graves went down into. There's a big main creek, a waterway, and it slid down. So they're relocating that cemetery. Well, they moved all the grave markers. The graves are still there. And then over the side of that bank, those graves slid down. They retrieved what they could retrieve because it hit the water. And of course, the caskets, these are old wooden caskets, handmade. And some probably didn't even have a casket. They probably were buried in a blanket. And I have gotten some of the spookiest stuff. I go there, I look for orbs or whatever. And it's been, I have a video of it too. And like you talking about, the crawlers that comes up, and they come up like this. It's like, they're really big chest. It was like probably 9, it was pitch black. And I went down because I was going to video. Again, I was looking for orbs, and I took, my other daughter was with me, Barb, the one you met earlier. She wouldn't get out of the car. She set the camera up at the car. She's like, I'm not getting out because it's too spooky. And I just had my cell phone, and I walked down through, and the headlights were shining on me. And in the distance, I heard there was coyotes, because in that area you'll hear the coyotes. And then I heard, because this is a big body of water, on the other side is trees, and I heard one of the watchers scream. He let out a big howl. And so when I got down there, the graves are open. You got to imagine this. These graves are open. They're holes that open. And they had put in like blue tarps over top of the stuff. But there was like a crevice that went down into the creek. I walked past it. I didn't see anything with my physical eyes. I walked past. And then I start, I walk up through. And in the video, I get back in the car. And I'm looking at I want to check it before I leave. And I look at it. In that crevice is this big black. First, I thought it was a bear crawling up through there. It gets to the top of the bank, and it's like this. And I see it coming up, and its head comes up. And then, I have it on the phone. It walked behind me. It come up, and I'm walking. You see my shadow walking, and you see another shadow behind me, within feet of me. And that thing had come up out of there. It wasn't a watcher. I'm not sure what. And it wasn't a dog man. This thing was different. It had massive. But that's where I worked there the other night. We went down, but those graves, there's bones. So my son, we were like reburying the best we could, just out of respect. And I hate it so bad. I mean, they're doing a good job of trying, but it's not a bad area, but it is too, because there's so much, things being disturbed. And what's in a graveyard, you got good and bad. And those people that are there, it's the same thing. They were good in life or they were bad. You get some bad people in there, and whatever's left behind from that, and it's broke open. So, but yeah, I do the tracings and I documentate it, and I take pictures. And the Cincinnati Natural History Museum down there, they contacted me for my stories and my pictures from my old heritage pictures and stuff will be going on. They're going to put them on display there. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
I got to rambling.
Ready, let me know.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. There's something on.
I don't know about y'all, but mine's been lagging.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
It's not.
And sometimes they just won't. And sometimes they just won't let it play either. Have you noticed that? There's been times that it doesn't matter. It's like with my artifacts. I have my native air artifacts, and I have actually laid stones together before, and they will just push yourself apart. There's no reason for them to roll. There's no and they will not stay together. Nope.
That's like the game cameras. The game cameras, we'll go hang them up, and after we set them up, we'll stand there, wave at them, make sure it's working. The last pictures will be us walking away, and we'll go back thinking we have all this awesome footage, and there's nothing, or the SD card will be just fried. Brand new chip will be completely burned off.
I actually just bought a new one with the bear thing. I'd gotten that big bear on my game camera up, and it's just up above my greenhouse. And then it's so weird there. That's where the coyotes was walking down. And then it got to the camera, and the coyote turned sideways, and then it was a deer. I'm like, what the heck? How did that happen? Why did it happen? And I've seen lots of things. There's like orbs comes down the trail, and they will come. What different color come this way, and then off the bank, a different color will come that way. And but my cameras, the chips get just like you said. You know, they'll be working fine. Everything's great, and then they're gone. Like,
I'll
okay.
go back and recheck it. The same chip without putting it back in the camera, deleting anything. I'll go back and look for a certain picture, and they're gone.
Yeah.
My cousin Walt that keeps commenting down there, he's got some awesome stories. If I can talk him into it, we'll get him to come on and tell some of his experiences.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that.
Walter,
Yes.
your cousin, he's been commenting some stuff in there. I've been reading all of his comments because I can see it on the side. Yeah, I would love to hear his story.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got some awesome
are
experiences.
chosen that get to experience creation of our Creator, and it's rarely for us to see in the world and whatever you come across.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
For that.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I'm gonna try one more time to see if it works. Sorry, guys, this is the first show. There's gonna be some bugs we need to work out. Like it's supposed to right now. It's not to just bear with us. We'll get it all lined up.
Hello.
I'm having fun on here, but we tried this one last time, see if it'll work.
Hi, Jeff.
We're on top of the mountain at the cemetery. We just passed some bikers who has a up here. And I just left where I actually my watchers when I pulled in. So they use it around the cemetery. So I'm going to set this up and let it record for a little while and see if I can hear him watching. These are some like really rare. I'm going to show you this one. It's really, really neat. I love it. Let's see what's on here. A little turtle. And what this represents is the turtle clan. The turtle clan in Shawnee was the fire makers and the carriers of time. So they documented and were very, very powerful. Oops. So I'm going to point this towards the woods. And I'm going to do a howl. I'm going to do a howl. And then I'm going to see if possibly I can get them to answer me.
I think that's it. He yelled back, and then I
And as you hear, the birds just went silent. And the bees and all those insects just stopped.
Buffering for anybody else?
yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the end of it.
Okay. Just wanted to
But
make sure. It was kind of black screen. It was buffering, and I didn't
yeah,
know.
it's yeah, I could hear the sound. I didn't see the video of the trees and stuff, but I could hear the sound. And that's what I did. I howled, and then he howled back. Then everything just went silent. And I had my cousins with me. They're two older. They're like me, and it scared them. So it's like, okay, we'll go now. But usually, when I go out and do gifting, I'll howl like that, and I also have sleigh bells. I ring my sleigh bells, and I've been doing this. Well, like I said, um, since I was 6, and I'm now 62. I don't tell everybody. I get teased a lot about my age and how old are you, or I'm 62. So I've been doing this a whole lot of years. And I still, like I said, I still do 10-mile hikes. I still go in the woods. I set up my camp. I'm not bragging, but this is the way I was raised. If I want to go out in the woods, I don't have to I carry something to build me a fire with. And, I take food with me, of course, now, but if I didn't, when I was young, heck, I fed myself out of a creek, or, a squirrel, or it was an adventure. And I loved it. I have caves I would go to. I have a big, massive cave that I want to get back down into. And I went from the time I was a child, and now the property got sold and they put a door over top of it. You got to go through a hole in the ground, and then you drop down into massive caverns that goes for miles and miles and miles. There's springs in there. I went in there and stayed when I was a kid, and I want to go back down in if I can, but the people are in New York that owns it, so I'm having trouble getting a hold of them. And if I can, I don't know about the drop, because you literally, younger bones when you drop is a little easier, but I'll use a rope. And that's one of my goals for before the summer's over. I want to go back down in there. So
You have
I
a
travel.
In the woods. I think she could outrun me.
Yeah.
I know she could outwalk me.
I can't keep up with Trish. Let me tell you, she is a jackrabbit. She was out through there. I'm telling you, she moves faster than anybody I ever seen. And Crystal, oh my God, that woman is. We was going up that road, straight up, and
Off she went.
I'm telling you, there's another fearless lady. We went back through her, and I was showing her when we went to the side road. Off to the side, it was dark, but she was shining, and I was explaining to her, there is the shelters. They will manipulate the trees to grow into those shapes. And she's looking at them, and I said, yeah. And she's like, oh my God, I never thought about that before. She's like, I just learned something new. But that lady, her husband was like, he's huffing and puffing, and she's just like, woo, I'm going.
I love Crystal. They haven't been out with me in a few weeks now. They're really busy with work, and I miss them so much because they're such a huge part of my field team. And I love Crystal. She's amazing, and she is. She go get her, just like me. She's keeping up with me. She takes amazing photos. I mean, amazing photos. And I remember when she caught her first photo of a Bigfoot, and she was so hard on herself. And we went back 4 times recreating that photo to make sure that there wasn't anything natural making that, and it wasn't. And when we had to tell her, hey, you caught what you caught. Be excited. Not many people get to catch that. You caught it.
Absolutely.
And
Don't second guess yourself. You know what you know. You know what you saw. You don't have to prove it to anybody. That's like me. I'm not a researcher. I don't research. I'm just a liver. I grew up doing this, so I don't argue with anybody. Everybody is entirely up to them and their opinion. I applaud them. That's up to them. I don't argue about it. But I know what I know. I know what I did, and I know what I've seen, and I know what I've lived. And just like right now, when I did the howl, I set myself out here. But where I'm sitting at right now, I'm at the back of a hollow. This is my daughter's house. Behind her house, is the 400 acres of the Valley of the Dead. That's where I'm at. And honestly, if I, her garden's out back, but once it starts getting dark here, like you've seen her husband come through, kiss me on the head, and says, bye, Mo. He's lived here since he was 3. When it gets dark, he doesn't go past his barn. He says, I don't know how you can go back in there and do whatever. He's like, there's too much scary stuff back there. So, and he knows, he's heard it and he's seen it. And he showed me different places that he knew about in the daytime. We'll get in the truck and he'll drive me through the woods. So don't ever second guess yourself. Don't ever let anybody put you down, or, they can have their opinion. So what? You know what you know. You've been there. You've seen it. You've done it. So that's my advice to everybody. Just keep on, keep on believing. Because honestly, things are changing. Different things are getting different.
Yeah, they are.
More and more civilization into the woods, and more houses, and the animals are being run out. It's like the bear, that's coming around my house, and the bobcat. I have bobcats in my barn that doesn't run from you. Normally.
How's Big Boy doing? Your bear?
I haven't seen him for a couple weeks, so I don't know if he's moved on. He got in the. I have 55-gallon drums. That's my feed barrels because I'm on the poultry farm. And he ate my corn. He ate my chicken feed, my baby chick feed, the chick starter. But he did not kill the chickens. He never touched the chickens. He never bothered any. I've got rabbits. He never bothered any of it. He ate feed. And, and the berry patches. But so far, the worst thing he's did was get in the guy's truck and poop. But so far, I keep mine locked, so he hasn't gotten into anything that way. But
See if I have a
that's
picture.
what makes me worry.
I don't have a picture of the bear, but I got a picture of this.
Yeah, that's one of the bobcats. That's I have 3 that came in, and I have a live trap because they were coming in and getting the chickens, and they got in the barn, and the one big male, I come into the barn and he wanted to stand me for a fight. It's like, I don't hurt anything. You get on out of here. But my grandson, my dad's house is still up across the bridge, and at that time he was staying there, and that bobcat was like trying to tear through the back wall. It was like digging at the back wall, and it got on the roof. And I'm like, buddy, you got to go. I'm sorry, you got to go one way or the other. You got to go. And we have my son is a welder, so he welded up a big giant live trap. And then he's like, okay, Mom, now how do we turn it loose? I said, very gently. So we give him a new home. And the other ones didn't stand the fight, but I was like, nope, you want to fight? I'm sorry, I own this place, and I'm sorry, this is, I know you're losing yours, but I ain't gonna let you dive off, because he was literally on top of the hay mound, and he is backed up, and I thought he was going to pounce. No, I dissuaded him without having to dispense him with some noise from a very large bang. I travel around in the nighttime all the time. The coyotes are really bad, and so, but things are changing.
Yeah, it seems like everything's been acting up more here lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I made a joke the other
For
day.
sure.
I'm just waiting to see a unicorn out the LBL. It's just.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm telling you, I wouldn't doubt it there. You never know. I can't believe people was turning goats loose there. That's terrible. Poor little goats. That's not a place for goats.
Well,
Terrible.
I think I have an idea why. Just no proof to back it up. But I think I have a pretty good idea why. And it's sad. It's very sad. Because, that place is known for black magic and stuff, so.
Mm.
It's like that Helltown in Boston, Ohio, and that is the big W. I don't like saying the word, and but it's also and that's what they were doing. They would take the goats out and tie them, like for offerings and different stuff. But all the way back to the 1800s, the Algonquins told them, this is not good ground. Don't settle there. Don't. And then the government came in, I believe it was in in the 60s. Ronald Reagan actually was on the golf course and signed the order to clear out all the farms and all the people. And if you have time to research it, just research Hilltown in Boston, Ohio. And
I've heard a little bit about it. It sounds just like a weird area. Well, you could feel that whenever you went into the LBL. I guess there's been so much black magic and stuff done up there. You could just feel the heaviness as we were talking about it whenever we were going in.
Yeah,
Chandra too, the spiritual awakenings.
Yep.
That, and I think a lot of stuff that's been buried for years is coming back up to surface. Stuff's being unleashed.
Absolutely. Yes. It worries me, and honestly, that's how I kind of started this a couple years ago. Talked to the elders, and we decided it was time, because we kept everything pretty silent and quiet, and we still guard our secrets, but it was getting to the point that it was dangerous and things was happening. And so we decided to, I'm the younger of the bunch, and I was more of the spokesman. So I kind of got pushed into it. So I'm here, and and honestly, I appreciate Trisha. I appreciate it all, because helping me do this, it means a lot to me. Whether it goes anywhere or not, I appreciate everybody that's listening. Please continue to do so. Um, Spread the word, and we're all working really hard. Trisha works hard, and there's so many people, a multitude. Jennifer Hicks, and we just have a little band. And there's a lot of, before it was like all men, but the women are beginning to band together, and we're getting out there too. Yeah.
We are.
Tim and I were talking today about how all the women seem like they're fearless, and the guys aren't, doing. They're more afraid of all this stuff than we are. We'll just go running out into the woods and face it. We need to do a girls' trip.
That's it. That's what I said. We need to all get together and go out and hit the woods. I think we would have an amazing time. And I think we would get a lot of good stuff too. And I think we'd probably have a lot of bloopers, but
for sure.
You should videos, and I'm like, oh crap. For example, okay, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. We're up in a cemetery. I'm doing some spirit talker stuff, and this branch fall, just the wind's not even blowing. Okay, and spirit talker telling us that we're in danger, and he's trying to push us out there, and we weren't letting it. We were standing our ground. We're like, no, we're trying to figure out something about the cemetery. So this branch falls out of this tree, almost hits Crystal. A few minutes later, it says Johnson, which is Andy and Crystal's last name. Well, then a few minutes later, it says Harry. And Andy's reading it, and he just starts laughing. I'm like, what's funny? And he's like, I'll tell you later. And I'm like, okay, so some stuff happened. We go to leave, and there was something following us out there, and I had to keep turning around and rebuking it, and telling it had to stay. It cannot follow. And I'm like, Andy, who is Harry Johnson? And he goes, Trish, you're so smart. Don't do this. And I'm like, I'm being dead serious right now. Who is Harry Johnson? And he giggles, and Crystal goes, Trish, take a few minutes and just think about it. So I'm like, okay. So I'm walking, and as I'm walking, and we're still recording, so my GoPro's still going. I'm like, Harry Johnson, Harry Johnson, Harry Johnson, Harry Johnson. And I went, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. And we were recording. Needless to say, that video never got put out, and it won't. Maybe a section or something. Maybe a laugh, but you ever have those times you just say something and it's just not registering, and then when it does register, you're like, why am I an idiot? That was one of the moments.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Other than the whole reptile thing. I don't feel like an idiot often, but the reptile Doug and the Harry Johnson, those two really made me feel like an idiot.
Well, in my lifetime, I have did a lot of things. I drove truck, I've cut logs, and one of the biggest joys, because you got to imagine, I was young then, and I would come in a log truck, driving a big log truck, and it's men, and they try to embarrass you, or do whatever. So I learned to have an answer for everything, and they couldn't put anything over with me. And if I was working, I remember taking a load of wood, and they tell me, it's like, oh, we're going to charge you $10 extra to unload it. It's like, heck you are. So I jump up in the back of the truck, and I'm unloading the wood, and he's like, oh, no, we were just joking. I said, you crazy? I just cut that, split it, and loaded it, and I hauled it. I bet that going if I'm paying you any extra, I'm getting paid. So I guess I grew up being a tomboy and oh my God, a hellion. I did everything. I have. I've been a. I think about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I survive? So, but I think you're supposed to. It makes you tough, and for whatever we're supposed to be doing, I think it's a life lesson that is going to help us get through it. So,
Yeah, I agree.
um,
No matter what obstacles thrown in our way, we have the power to overcome it. You just got to set your mind to it and do it.
absolutely, absolutely, and we're stronger together. So I think if everybody just work together and get along,
Yeah.
and support each other, and just think of all the stuff we could get done, and all the stuff that all the knowledge. I ask questions. I've got a group of people that's been amazing. I've did a lot of shows, and a lot of these researchers, like Kim Vogel, I can, something I don't understand, I'll message him, and he's amazing. He is right there, and I'll send it to him, and I love it. He has been a very, great friend. Uh, Honestly, through all of this, I have never found anybody. Everybody has been amazing. Each show I did, it was like, oh my gosh, you got to meet somebody else. And then I met you and Michael Webb, your father, and it was like, and Mike's like, you need to stay. You need to come on our show and stay here. And I have, and I learned from your guest. I just listen because it's amazing knowledge that you acquire, and that helps me when I'm going out or whatever. So it's a learning thing. So I I applaud everybody, and I think everybody has something to contribute. And if you just listen, you'll learn.
I've learned so much just off of doing these podcasts and listening to you guys, and the more people that you meet and at these shows and through the podcast, it's amazing to hear all these stories.
It makes you feel good because you can actually have somebody to talk to that doesn't think you're a nut.
Right. I don't think you're crazy anymore. All the stuff that you could never go tell anybody. Now that everybody's networking and getting together and sharing stories,
and that's what I want for this. We talked about doing this show, and I've talked about it, and I thought, well, I don't know if I have anything to contribute. I don't know if I can make a difference, or anybody would want to hear what I have to say. I do, the podcast or whatever. But I thought, you know what, I've heard so much. So if I helped anybody, or can get more anything, then it's worth that effort. And I really appreciate you. And Rachel, I appreciate you because honestly, you're like me. We have the old country stuff and our lores and legends,
right?
And the granny tales, and the amazing thing is, people laugh at it, but it works. It works. And I think about over my lifetime and the old remedies, and I still make them.
And they still work better than pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they do. I was like septic with a infection that the doctors didn't know what infection was. Okay, and on top of that, I had a kidney stone. She sends me some of the stuff she makes. I felt better instant just by putting some of that ointment on. And at first when I smelled it, I was like, man, this smells like vodka. And I put it, and it was just a few minutes later, like I perked right up and felt so good. I mean, it really, really helped because I was on antibiotics for a week. The antibiotics wasn't even kicking in. And that's IV antibiotic, and it wasn't work this stuff, and I just put her almost instantly. So they work.
That's about as God put everything on this earth that we need to survive until the pharmaceutical industry took over and they could make more money and make you dependent on them. by running plus make you sick. The Rockefellers took a hold of that and ruined it.
Yep.
Pretty much wiped out natural remedies.
Everything that I made that I love is natural. It comes from the forest and around here. And then I ferment it. It's set. What I sent you have been setting. I leave it, and the longer it sets, I soak the roots and the leaves, and that has been like a 2 year. It's like old wine, The longer the wine sets, the better it gets. Well, that medicine, I use it for. I have veterans that are in constant pain, and they would give them the. I call it the slobbering idiot look, and they don't like it. And I honestly, I have the one guy that had been in pain. He hadn't slept through the night for years, and his poor legs and his back. And I brought that in and I put it on. 5 minutes, he was asleep, and he slept through the night. And his family, and they said, "What did you do?" And I was like, she's like, "What did you use?" Because it's like, he's not had any relief. He's in calm. She's like, "He rested. He's calm. He's not in pain." And he said, "I didn't have to give him no pills. I didn't have to give him that." So I just left I made a bottle and I leave it there. And then, so it's just an old, it's just a combination of herbs and I think the fermenting, and yes, it does have alcohol in it.
You're gonna have to send me that recipe. I think they've been weakening down the antibiotics. Plus, they've made them to where they're so hard to get anymore. Well, whenever I had all those tick bites, I had to go to the hospital, and they put me on the high-powered antibiotics, and it didn't even seem to help anything or phase me at all.
I use a toothache. You can take that if you have a toothache. You can take that and just rub it on your jaw or whatever. And I can't stand a toothache. Oh my God, I'm the meanest thing that ever lived. If I got the toothache, everybody just better get the heck away from me and let me lock myself in a room. Don't come near me because I'm a horrible person. But I don't put it inside my mouth, but I rub it on the outside, and it will ease that down. I have, which I told Trisha back, my spinal thing, but I broke my back. I literally broke my back. I have all my vertebrae are mashed and crashed. I rode bulls. I broke horses. Yes, I did. So I've been throwed, stomped. It's true. It's true. I did. I raced cars. From the time I was little, I rode bulls, and then I have that deformity in my spine, which nobody can explain why I am a functioning human being. They wanted to send me to a science clinic and research me because my spinal cord is open. So, but I use that. I don't take pain medicine. I just use my medicine, and I just rub it on. We're probably going into like 2 hours now. So should we wind it up? You think,
whatever you would like to do. I'm just here enjoying the great conversation. And
well, they're probably getting bored with it now. I'm like,
anybody still out there? Is anybody left?
Is anybody there? Have you all left?
Hello.
Sean has stuck around the whole entire time. Walter has, I believe.
Sean
has, Alicia has. Ash is in here, by the way. Hi, Ash.
Hey, Ash.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for just listening.
And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So we're going to have to work out all the bugs, and I will sit down and get all the bugs worked out and figure out why it wasn't wanting to load videos and why it's not connected to your Facebook. I will get this on point for you, Donna. I'm dedicated to it.
I appreciate you so much. I really do. I
need to thank me.
Whatever happened.
Family.
So, well, I'm going to do this thing here. We talked about it. And, well, maybe I better wait because we haven't decided on exactly how many subscriptions we get before we
You're big. The 500.
There was
It's-
500.
I think it'd be good.
Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. In honor of my Shawnee heritage, my son is a napper, and he makes the original Shawnee knives. It's made from, the handle is an elk horn. That's what this is. This is a napped flint, and it is wrapped in sinew that when we kill a deer, we pull the sinew. Everything on here is real, and it's original. And he makes these. And and he did put, he's got this stuff on it to make it look shiny, but this is a functioning knife. It can be used for whatever, a scraper. If you want to tan hides, you can use it, or it's decorative, whatever you want to do with it. So our goal is, like here, you can get it up here, everybody can see. Once we reach 500 subscribers, we're going to have a drawing, and from all of those, all your names will go into a basket, and we will draw that name, and whoever we draw is going to receive this knife. We will send it to you. And so we need 500 subscribers. And we will appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate everybody that's here. I really do. So this is our goal. So everybody get on there, subscribe.
Yeah. I'm a host, so I can't be put in that drawing. But man, I wish I could, because that's a beautiful knife. It really is.
That is amazing.
I would love to have one.
One of them, actually, that was going to be your surprise, Trisha. You and your dad's coming here in October to visit with me, and we're going to do some investigation. And I hope Rachel will come too. And
say when, I'll be there.
Just whenever you want to come, you are more than welcome in all times. But my tradition is when one of my special friends show up like you, you do get one of these. My son makes them for me, and he also makes the little holster that they go in. And everybody, I did her name is Terry Windtalker, and she did the Moccasins Across America for Peace. And she went all over America praying for peace, and she visited our dear old President Trump. And so when she stopped through here, we met the night before, and we spent the whole day together. We went to our sacred area here where we prayed, we drummed, we sang. We did all of that. We did our little ceremonies. And when she left with one. It was made special. She left with the rattle and the knife, which she carried to President Trump. She uses it for drumming because she turns it around. It's a knife on one end, and it's the drum, the rattle and stuff on the other. So it's a tradition, So when you guys come, you do get one. It was going to be a surprise, but I'll tell you now.
I'm on my way up there right now.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
As soon as the show's over, I'm going to go pack.
Anytime.
So we're going to be at the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival in October 9th through the 11th. Monsters Unleashed has a booth there. Donna's coming down, and then after the festival's over with, Dad and I, we're going up to Donna's. So you are more than welcome to come with us, because I think you're coming to West Virginia too.
Yeah, I'll be there with bells on.
Absolutely. I got the cabin is already prepared, and everything is set for it. The schedule was cleared, so I am looking so forward to seeing you all and getting the take-ins out into my area and just spending time with you. There's a fire pit there and a big lake where your dad can fish if he wants to, or if you want to fish. We can traip through the woods and we can just have a great time. That's
I think it'll be a blast.
absolutely. We're going to have a great time. It might be a little chilly because in October it starts getting chillier here, but hey, I go out all year round.
I think that's the best time whenever the leaves start falling and it gets a little chilly outside and you don't have to worry as much about rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. The copperheads are bad this year. Rattlesnakes are bad this year. I'm telling you what, this heat down here is hot. I mean,
Yeah.
Like,
I almost stepped on that big rattlesnake, and I'm not kidding. I mean, the head of it was as big as my fist. And then the other day, I was out in the backyard running around barefooted, and there was one almost. I reached down to grab something, and my hand was right beside of it, and I saw that twig start moving, and I was like, okay, that's not a twig.
We
almost on that one too.
We had went up to the cemetery. It was me and Rosie and Judy, my cousins, and through the family, they're the newer family graves, and if there's sticks or something, we clean it, and there was a stick laying there, and Rosie had walked in and she just literally picked it up and moved it over the fence, and Judy walks in behind. We both walked over it, and Judy comes in by. She's like, "Do you see this snake?" And I'm like, "No, where?" A copperhead. It was a young one. It was about this long. And she literally had picked that stick up right over top of it. I'm just like, holy cow. So I'm sorry, but I had to send him to the great beyond. It's like, no. It's like, I'm sorry for your luck.
He's better off
to do with copperhead.
Tim said the other day, Tim was talking about a rattlesnake came across, and he goes, yeah. He said, I had to relocate several parts of its body to different areas. I was like, that was the best way to do it. I'm sure it's happy in the new area.
It didn't go down easy. I mean, it was popped a couple of times, and it was still coming after us.
Have you noticed? I mean, here, like our black snakes and stuff, which they kill, the rats and whatever. So I don't really bother them. And my son, of course, we have the chickens and stuff, so we have an issue with them stealing the eggs and the baby chicks and whatever. And this was last year. Once you get in the back of my property, you go up the side of the cliffs. And he's like, Mom, I seen something really weird today. And he's like, there was this, I was going up the trail, and he said, I seen this, he said, I thought it was just the tail of the snake, or I thought it was a snake. So he's like, I stepped on the tail to make it run. He said, when I did that, it reared up down under the bank, literally reared up in the tree. He said that thing was like 12, 14 feet longer. And I was like, oh, come on. So I'm telling you, it's like it's bigger than him. I was like, no. Yeah, I was like, that'd be like he's like, I'm telling you, it's a black snake. Well, I doubted him. And I go up to them. I got spring drains. My house is fed by springs. I don't have county water or anything like that. Mine is all spring fed. It's gravity fed. I don't have well pumps. But where the water, I have the overflows that runs into the creek. And I went up through there and I hear rattling in the leaves. And I walked past, and I'm telling you, that sucker it was laying there, and it went down. Its head was down in the creek and its body was up in the trail. And I'm like, holy crap. That thing is huge. It could eat you. It could eat a child. That's how big it is. I was like, my God, that thing has to be 100 years old. It has to be. I've never seen one that big before. It's like, this must have been one of the Watchers' pets. Take him back home with you. I don't want you here. Take him back to your cave. Let him eat your rats. Get him out of here. It was wild.
And that is something. I had a black snake fall on my head one time while I was tearing down a trailer. The ceiling had been rotting out where it had been leaking real bad. And I reached up there and I was just going to tear down, the rest of the sheetrock, the panel. I just started shaking it, trying to get it to come loose. And out comes this big black snake. And I saw it falling. There was nothing I could do to stop it. And it falls right on my head, wraps around my neck.
Oh, no.
I think I made a new door getting out of there. I don't even like the black snakes. They all den together in the fall. I don't care what anybody says about black snakes killing copperheads. In the fall, they'll all den together.
Oh my! I've seen the balls of them, like when they mate, they ball up in that big ball and roll. They would get in a fence row. Oh my God, that's spooky. That is the spookiest thing I've ever seen. My husband, I'm a widow. My husband passed away, but he would catch snakes. He sold them, and he had barrels, which I hated. I was like, please God. So I'd make him take it like on the other side of the barn or whatever. Like, oh my God. My sons are like him. They'll catch this. I'm like, nope, 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 not me. Nope. His mom told me he's always did that, but I got a way to get rid of him. He's like he would put him in a fish tank. She's like I boiled hot water and I poured it in on him and said then I would dump the water out and he thought they just.
That's pretty smart.
She was an old country. Now that lady was 97 when she passed away. She was in her early 90s. She still ginsenged. She, picked berries. She'd be out in the woods. She was an old Shawnee lady. And those footprints in the snow of when she moved from the hollow and her daughter took her and moved her beside her house in a little A-frame. Her watcher came with her. And that's in those footprints in the snow. Those came past her house. And did an interview with the daughter. She won't tell her name or nothing, but she let me have the pictures. And she's like, and there's a trail. There was a whole trail where they walked past. Those footprints are 24 inches long and they're 12 wide. And their stride is over 6 foot, where it walked. And the amazing thing is, she passed away and she still lives in the same spot. Would you believe he's still there? As she's like, I'll be out doing she has a beautiful brick home, big flower beds, and it's in the country, and it's about a mile from the river. She's like, I still hear him there, and said he doesn't scream, but he will we call it singing. And she's like, he will come up there and like he talks to me. And she's like, he doesn't do anything to harm me or anything, but she said, he's still here. And what's like Dad's is still here. I still see him. So once they attach to you, they're there forever until the end. So that's it. That was the end of my story. I'm going to shut up now because I know I'm droning on too much. I have enjoyed myself so much, and I hope everybody that's been listening, thank you so, so much. And if I talk too much, I'm sorry.
I don't think you talk too much. But we are.
I don't think you do. I think you got some great stories. I could sit here and listen all night.
Yeah, I need recorded stories to play on my TV, so I can just listen and go to sleep to. Kind of like a white noise. Donna Copas, white noise, so soothing. Especially when we're talking about her culture and stuff. It's my favorite culture to learn about. I love it. Absolutely love it. But we are at 2 hours. If you're wanting to go ahead and call it here, then we can call it here.
Yes, I think so. Well, I've probably bored people enough already. So, and I appreciate everybody that hung in there to the end. So thank you all very much.
I appreciate it. On you other than YouTube?
I'll let Rachel go first. I appreciate it.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Rachel Jones. Snapchat, I am Shadows of WNC 13. Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, Haints, Hexes, and Hollers.
Trisha, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, Facebook, Trisha Collins, on Monsters Unleashed, Monsters_Unleashed on YouTube. You can me on TikTok at monster.unleashed. You can email me if you have a story that you want to share, or if you have any questions for me. It's monsters.unleashed25@gmail.com. And I think that's it because I don't like Instagrams. I'm never really on it. But yeah, mainly just follow me on Facebook. I'm pretty friendly. I'm friends with everybody pretty much.
Absolutely. Amazing lady. Both of you are. And now you can find me here at Watchers Maidens and on Monsters Unleashed, of course. I did the Strange Knocks magazine and what else? And Grandpa's Old Hate Stories. I've been setting in on that. I was hosting with Cindy Sapp. I'm still here, there, and yonder with that. So you'll find me here, there, and yonder there. Facebook, YouTube. I do my little skits on YouTube. I base my little short films or whatever, basically on my life and things I did with my dad. I'll call it Pap and the Maiden. And we do everything up to even the skunk spraying me. So if you want to go in there and look, that's true. I was going to my hunting blind and I walk up and lo and behold, there was a skunk there. And it was, there was in November and there was a little bit of snow on. So needless to say, I came home in my soft feet. I left my boots in the woods because the skunk sprayed me. So if you want a good laugh, just check it out.
I think the next project does need to be Donna's white noise bedtime stories to fall asleep to.
See, I think it'd be a great idea. It really would. I mean,
Yes.
she's got a protection song that protection song really works. It really does. I love it. Play it every time I come out of LBL. Sometimes I play it before I go in, but I 100% play it coming out all the way out. So
I took my Shawnee ceremonial type thing because we do that. That's part of our tradition. And I've taken my old Shawnee stories and I diverted them into music. So it's like the Legend of the Shawnee Sisters. It's a song. I made a song out of it. And different ones, the Shawnee Rose. And I have probably about 35 different songs. And basically that's what they are. They are the Shawnee legends. It's like the Ravens cabin, the cabin in the woods, different things. And I did the thing for the Watchers. So I now want to be able to get those songs out. Some are funny, some are silly. But a lot of them are draped all in my heritage, and the Watchers Maidens is a spinoff from the Ice Maidens. The Ice Maidens are a true Shawnee band of very fierce women warriors from this area. That and in the one picture of the little girl in front of the cave, that is the Maidens' Cave, and inside is like ice inside. And the reason they call the Ice Maidens was because they were very forward, very fierce, and it was like they turned their heart to ice because once they went out into battle, nothing. You're trained in a certain way. You can't have any weaknesses. A lot of rules, and I rebelled against most of them. Yes, I did go to the cave. Yes, I did do the training. Yes, I did get my butt kicked many, many times. And but it is my heritage and it means so much to me and I will defend it right down to my last dying breath. And I will. So now I'm going to stop preaching. So good night, you all. And I love you both. Thank you so much. And you know what?
Good night, everybody.
I think you guys are my children. I don't know how I got you, but I really think you're my children.
Well, I mean,
I think they mixed me up, put me in the wrong hospital.
yeah, we're both rebellious.
Yeah,
She's on.
I think we are Donna's children. We just got lost along the way.
That was it.
You're watching.
The stork dropped you in the wrong area.
Okay. Oh, you know what? It's clicked. That's what my dad meant when he said that was found, or I came off of a FedEx truck. It just.
There you go.
Shipped you to the wrong address. Dadgummit.
Thank you. It's okay. I'll call
Oh.
her and jump his butt and say, how dare you not send me to my biological mom's house? I found Donna's my mom. And Maury said that is not a lie. So, all right.
Oh.
We found our way back though.
All right. Hey, I found you. That's the best part.
Yeah.
I love you guys. We'll see you later.
We love you.
Yeah. Bye.
See you next time. I hope
All
we
right,
didn't
good night,
scare everybody
everybody.
up.
The watchers walk and they make no sound. The watchers moving through the trees, shadows dancing in the midnight breeze. They've been here forever and they always will. Guardians of the mountain, silent and still. Donna tells the stories, she's seen their face in the haunted woods, in that hidden place. The watchers are waiting just beyond the flame, and the world will remember Donna Copas' name.